So we have been talking about that, just introduction about the RDBMS and all the things. So today we're going to know about the concept in depth of that. Okay. So first of all, we'll come across some of the terminology that has been going to come across the in the RDBMS or DBMS. So first of all, something like DBMS. What is DBMS? It's a database management system. So the name itself, we have something called database. A database management system. Now, what is the data over here? If you see something like on my screen, I have the content like this. I have papers. I have something like this. So all this something whichever that I have been finding around, say something. Okay. So if you check all this, those are all some raw data. Okay. I have something called a raw collection of data. So right now I have been which I have shown to you just now. It's like raw collection of data, which has to be processed using some softwares, and that has to be stored. Now when I'm storing this, at particular instance of time, we require to be retrieved. We should be in a position to manipulate, or I can say something called updations. And I should be in a position to add the content. So the data whichever you are trying to collect, which should be processed, should be stored. Whenever I require, I should be able in a position to retrieve it, update it, or you are going to add the contents. So when such kind of things has been processed, that is what we call as a database management system, because here we are using the software. So whenever you are using the software, so the software can be anything. So we have something called MySQL or Oracle, or as I listed out yesterday, few of the SQL softwares are available in the market. So MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, DB2, Ingress, like this, we have a lot of softwares. With the help of that software, we are trying to store this on your computer or on the network. Okay. So wherever I'm going to store it, I should in a position to retrieve it, manipulate it, and I should able to add it. Okay. Then that kind of thing we call as a database. So when I'm using this particular database, I will be providing some data in a form of schema. In a form of schema. Now schema can be like a design. Which kind of design? A database overall design. So overall design of the database is called as a schema. Okay. What is then, whatever the design you are doing, that design is for storing of your data, retrieving and all the things. Such kind of things will be done. So that kind of things which we are doing with the design, and the design will going to help me to store this information, that we call as a data modeling. We call that as a data model. So design is called as a schema, and with the help of design, I'm trying to do this storing, manipulation and all the things. Then that we call as a data modeling. So we should be in a position to create a data modeling based on some diagram, based on the softwares. We are trying to store the raw data. So just now whichever I have shown you, the raw data like this, I have been scattered. So these are all are scattered. It has been not ordered or been thrown somewhere like this. So the scattered data is called as a raw data. The raw data has been processed. Okay, what we call, to process this, I should have some structure. So when I'm doing the structure, so for after designing I need some structure. So how the structure will be, say something called, I have a structure, I am designing the structure in this fashion. Say this is my structure of the student, for which I have a ID, I have a name, I have a something called contact. Like this I have developed the schema design. Now with the help of the design, I can use the software to store my raw data. See, what is happening here? I'm telling about the schema, design, overall design of the database. Now when I'm saying the database, what? It's in a raw data which has been should be processed in a form of tables. So in a form of tables or in a form of images, in a form of objects, in whatever the fashion you want to store it, you should have a design. That design we call as in a schema. One design for one particular thing is called as a database. Okay, like this we are going to create a multiple database. When I'm creating the multiple database of that particular entire organization, then that we call as an overall design of the database. That is called as a schema, which you are trying to convert into a structure. So when you are converting this into a structure, we call that as a data modeling. Okay, so converting the structure into a the design to a structure is called as a data model. Once the data has been converted like this, then we are trying to use the some objects like that. We have some objects like, I'll be going to create a table, I'll be creating views, I'll create something called constraints. Okay, like this I'll be going to create on this particular structure. So these are all are something which is going to help me to design. Now if I want to do this, I should have, now I have something called stored procedure also. Okay, we have something called store procedure. So if I want to have such kind of things, I should have aware of program. So a programmer will take the help of software to design this. First, what I'm doing, I collected the raw data. What is the main purpose of collecting? I want to store it. Whenever I want to retrieve, I want to pick up, I have to update like this. So in order to do this, first of all, I have to collect the data. So I have collected the data like this. Then I have to design it. Then it should be structured like this. Once the structure has been done, we're calling that as a data modeling. Now, once the data model has been finished, what I can do with this, I can create the tables, I can create the views, I can create the constraints, some store procedures. Now, if I want to do this, I need programming skills or a program. I'll take the help of the designer, the programmer, or the administration. So, and that person will going to interact the software. So that means if I want to do this, I need the software. So I will be, if I call as a programmer or if I'm a developer, I will be interacting with the software to develop this. What I'm doing, I'm creating a table, I'm creating the views, I'm creating the constraints and some procedure. Now, if I want to create the table, that means this is a diagram. This is the structure. Now I have to use the software to convert this structure into real manner. So how I'll be doing? With some DML commands. So that commands right now I'm not going to tell you. When the topic comes, I'll be telling. But just you remember that I need some software to design this one. Say suppose I'll write some code. The code will be like this: create table student. Say example, just I'm not going in depth of this, just I'm in order to tell the concept. So the structure is ready. I have to, with the help of this structure, I have to create either table, views, constraints, some procedures. For this I should interact with the software. What software I have to interact? MySQL or Oracle or anything. So with this help of this software, I have to become a programmer, or I have to become a designer, or if I don't know the program, then I have a design, then I have to approach any other software company, those who are going to develop this for me. Okay, if I am a non-layman. So now I want to become a programmer. I want to create this such kind of thing. So example, I have been writing some code like this. So code will be like this: create table student. Where I'm creating this, what software I'm using? Say I'm using this software called MySQL. So I'm using the software called MySQL, where I'm writing a code like this. So if I want to know this code, first of all, I should be able to design it. I have to convert into a structure. Then I should identify from these two, what is entity, what is attribute. What is entity, what is attribute. So here, the student is the entity. These are the attributes. So I have to identify this. What are the student? What is the entity from here? So what is the object over here? And what are its characters? So here the object is student, for which we call as an entity. And these are the attributes. We call this as a characteristics of this particular object. Then if I have this one, then I can use the programming language to create this. Once it has been created, I'll be putting some constraints, restrictions. So here I am saying something called restrictions. Why we have to put the restriction? Suppose I say ID. ID is the number called 146. So if this is the number I have given to this particular student, where this should not be duplicated. If it is duplicated, then there is no usage of, uh, there is no meaning in that particular storing of data. So I have to avoid the duplications. So I have to put the restrictions. So with the help of constraints, say if I want like this, I'll be saying, say student, then I'll be saying roll number or ID, then I'll be saying number. Later on I'll be dealing about this. Okay, then I'll be saying primary key. Example. So if I say primary key like this, what happens? This ID will become primary key. What about the primary key? It is a constraint. Saying I am putting restriction. How I am putting the restriction on this? I am saying this should not be empty. That means whenever I'm trying to put the values for this, I have to put the value. So once I create the table with the help of this syntax with this particular program in my software, my table will be created like this. So my table will be having in this fashion. Okay, so I will be having something called ID, name, contact like this. So what I have to do now, I have to enter the value. So with the help of storing. So I have to write some program for this to store the value. So I'll be saying 1, I'll be saying 2, I'll be saying 3. So what is happening? I should not skip this. So I have to enter the name. If the name is not available, I'll put something like this. I put the contact numbers. I will skip the name for this. I will put the contact number. Okay, I put both the things. Now here if I say I don't want to go for 4 is not existing, but I want to give the value. So name is there, contact number is there, but it doesn't have a roll number. So this will not going to accept. Why it is not accepted? Because I am saying primary key. So the definition, the constraint saying that it should not be kept blank. It is compulsory. So without this you cannot go further. So you cannot go to enter these two values. So you cannot enter this unless until you enter this. So I am putting the constraints. So like this we'll be learning about some programming language to create the tables and the constraints. So if I want to know about this, I should use the software, I should become the program. When it happens, unless until I come with across the design. So once the design has been ready, structure is ready, then we are going to write the program in such a way to store my data. Now this is what the process. So this is what the process. So raw data. So this is the design. We got the information. We have been making into the schemas. Then we got the raw data has been done with the help of the software. I'm creating the code and I'm storing. So data has been got stored. So now my assume that my data is stored. So here we are adding. So adding concept has been completed. So I have been added. Okay. Then retrieve. That means I want to get the information about the roll number 2. So when I want to know what is the roll number 2 contact details, so I am asking the person. So I'll be using something called select. So again, we are writing the code. So saying select what I want the contact number. So I'll be saying contact number from whom? A student. So student is what? It's a entity. So with the help of select contact number from student, when I say like this, all the contact information of that particular table, whatever that is there, whether it's 3 records or 100 records, all will be displayed. If you say only roll number 2, if you know, we have an idea of that there is a roll number 2, his name is Mahesh, but I don't know the contact, then if I want only one, that then I will be using criteria. Say I'll be saying where id is equal to 2. So if I write like this, only this record will be existed. So I can able to retrieve. So retrieving is that if it is there, then only I can retrieve. So if I want to retrieve, okay, it should be stored. So I am using the programming skills to write to you with the help of the software to create it. I have created the structure, then the data has been added, data has been added, and I'm able to retrieve. Suppose tomorrow the contact number is changed, so I should be able to change the content. So this is what the can be done with our DBMS softwares. Okay, with this particular softwares, such kind of things can be done. Okay, any doubt regarding this, the concept? So this is a general concept, how our DBMS software will going to use it. So first of all, we have to collect the data, we have to design it, frame it into the structure, what we call the data models. Once the data model is ready with us, then we are going to use the code to create this kind of tables, views, or constraints, or stored procedure. So if I want to create this, I should have the programming skills. So if I want to go for the program skills, I need to take the help of the software. So if I want to know about the software, I should be first, the structure should be get ready. So this is what the process. So that's why if you see in the first unit, you would be explaining about the structure, architecture, and all the things. Then thereafter, they are giving this something like how to draw the diagrams. Then in the third unit, you are learning this. Then you are going for the restriction. This is how your unit has been distributed. Okay. So this is what your concept of database. Then in the database, when I'm talking about this structure, when I'm talking about this structure, we are saying this is an entity and this we are saying an attributes. So for a database, if I want to create, I should have an object. In our terminology, we call this as an entity. I need attributes. Okay, we call this as an characteristics of entity. So if I want the attributes, if I want an entity, okay, so this is a rectangle, this is an ellipse. So like this, I'll be trying to create the structure. So we have to aware of entity relationship diagram. We have to know about the entity relationship diagrams. So if I want to know about the entity, it should be displayed in a form of rectangle. I have something called attribute. Attributes normally it is will be in a ellipse mode. And I'll be having again in this attribute one more will be there, that is like this. Now this is weak entity. Kumar, please mute yourself.
Okay, sir.
So this is weak entity. Now, when we call this weak entity, if this is depend on somebody, so if it is depend on somebody, then we call that as a weak entity. Entity, oh sorry, attribute. Okay, so we call this as a weak entity attribute. Okay, so if we have double circle, we call as a weak entity. This is a normal entity. So if this is depend on somebody, then we call as a weak entity. Otherwise, it is a strong entity. So if in our case, if I say ID is there, now this is a strong entity. Okay. If I say contact number, then this is a weak entity. Or if you are considering this as a strong, then on this somebody has to be dependent. So contact number can be, you will be going to give your contact number of your father or the mother. You don't have the contact number, then what is happening? You are depend on that particular number. So this becomes the weak entity. So you have to be identify what is weak entity and what is strong entity. So like this, we will be using this one. Then we will be going about the relation. For this, I am using something called rhombus symbol. Okay, we will be using the rhombus symbol for relation. So how I'll be taking? I'll be taking two examples, something like I'll say student. Now if this is a student, is an entity, then I'll be saying something called he is having a roll number, he is having the name, he is having the contact number. So you can have many things, it's left to you. Then there is something called college. College we have an ID. So college ID, college name, contact number of college. You can have many more also for this. Now like this, I have the entry. Now, how I'll be relating this to with the help of rhombus. Now when I'm going with this, I'll be saying study. So study is the word which is going to link these two entities. So relation should be like this. Now when I'm going for the relation, we have 1 to 1. We have 1 to many. Okay, 1 to many. We have many to 1. And we have many to many. Okay, like this we have various relationships. So how we'll be having it will be like, you can have something like this. I have, so here I have 1 to 1. Okay, so 1 is linked to 2, that's it. Okay, 2 is linked to 1. I have something called 1 to many. So 1 is there. I have been having something called 1 2 3 4. So it has been linked to in this fashion. So this is 1 to many. We have many to many or many to 1, vice versa. So I have 1 2, 3, 4, and I have something called 1. And we have many to many. So 1 is linked to this, 1 is linked to 2, 1 is linked to 3, 1 is linked to 4. 2 is linked to 1, 2 is linked to 2, 2 is linked to 3, 2 is linked to 4. So this is how we will be having the many to many links. So I can have the links like this. So here, if I want any object, so this is what the structure. So which we all learn in the section that we are trying to design the overall design. So if I want to design this schema, a data model, I should know about the how you're going to get the raw data. Once you get the raw data, how you're going to process it. So the process is the very important one. So the processing nothing but the design. The design should come across with the structure. So once it has been finalizing the structure, then only we can go with this coding language. So the software will going to help here. So you should know what is the concept. So here, if I want to, first of all, you have to identify the entities. That is the object. Say here, kerchief. So this is like, what is this? It's a cloth. So cloth is the structure, okay, entity. Okay, it's not the kerchief. Kerchief is the name. Okay, so you should be very careful with the object. So kerchief is the name, cloth is the object. So cloth is an entity. Okay, so with the cloth, you what you are doing? You are doing something. Okay, so you are making into kerchief, you are making into towel or something like that. So manufacturing. So you have been saying design. Like this, you will be having its a character. So with cloth, what you are doing? So cloth is an object. Then in that cloth, you have done like something called attributes. So what the cloth will be having, it will be like, it will be silk, it will be polyester or something like that. Means these are the characteristics of that particular cloth. So whichever the objects surrounding that you find in your surroundings, you are to able to identify that what is entity, then what is attribute. Then once you find it, you should able to find which is depend on what. Okay, like this you have to find the attribute. Once the attribute is in finalized, then you have to start the relationship. In order to make the relationship, you have to find the different objects. It can be in the single. Now you can have the student. So student have the roll number and all this. So then the student is an employee. A student is in a scholarship or scholarship holder. He is in a scholar, research scholar. Like this, he will be again, we will be having different object to that part. So many activities can be identify with that particular entity. So you have to identify such kind of things. Can we maintain the data? Now suppose if I say student can be anyone. So here the roll number can be maintained for every student. So yes, we can maintain. Now that means if this structure is meant for one person, then if you go through that, you can able to understand that this design is useful for entire people of similar kind of object. So the similar kind of object is students. So if I call all the students, then I can say, what is your roll number? You will be telling. What's your name? You will be telling. Your contact number. That means I can maintain their information regarding this structure. Then I will have the college. So college can be our college, can be like our Nizam college, or it can be AMS college, it can be Vanta Mahavidyalaya, or it can be any college. Can the college has an ID? Yes, the college is an ID. The college has the name, the college has the contact. That means you can join the in that particular college for the study purpose. So the study is going to link you. Now how is going to link? You'll be saying something called relationship. So it is one to one, or one to many, many to one, or many to many. So like this, you are going to identify. That means a student going to study in this college. Okay, the college where has taken this student for, like if you go for the dose or something like that, you have been obtaining lot of colleges. So what is happening, one student approaching lot of college, so it is one to many. Okay, like many colleges. So if some students are there, one colleges, many students are joining, so it is many to one. Many students are joining in many colleges. So like this, we have to identify the relationship. So if you identify, then only we can frame the schema structure. Okay, so when I'm framing the schema structure, you should be careful with data type. Another important, once we know about the structure, about the content, then we are going to know about the data type. Now, what is this data type will going to do for us? A data type will going to store the information in the software. So if I want to use this software, I want to create a table. So I have the structure. So I should know what is the data type for this, because without knowing the data type, the table cannot be created. Because how I should know what I have to store. Okay, I have collected the data, I have collected the cursive. Now where I should keep this cursive, where I should keep the book, where I should keep the pen. That means I should have the proper data type for this. That means the pen should be put in the stand, the cursive should be put in the rack, book should be put in the rack. Like this I should have an idea about that. So in which rack, I cannot put this one single book in a bigger space. So according to the size of that, I should able to keep it. So here it will going to tell about the data type. So when I'm talking about the data type, suppose if you take this kind of an example, here roll number. When I'm saying number, it will having something called digits. That means I can use 0 to 9 numbers. So I have to use the 0 to 9. So these are the digits. So we call this as a numbers. So number is a data type. In our software, number is a data type which is going to accept only whenever I create the structure of this student roll number. If I create an attribute like this, then I have to specify that what it is going to store. Then I'll be saying it will going to store only number. Then with my keyboard or with my any software, I'll be trying to enter the numbers only. If I enter instead of numbers any character, it will not going to allow, it will going to stop me. The software will going to stop me that you are doing mistake. Why? Because it is saying that it should give only numbers. Like this, I'm putting the restriction, and also I'm telling that this number should have the so and so size. So you have 10 characters or 20 characters, 30 characters. Like this, I'll trying to tell the software that this is the roll number is an attribute of the student which is going to store the number. So number is one data type. Then I have a characters. So here again, if I go for the next student entity, name is what? Name is an attribute. Now what it is going to store? It's going to store my name. My name Devander, Ketan, Tanusri, or something like this. So I have per the student the particular name which is saying that it should store only alphabets. So here I'll be storing something called alphabets. So that is A to Z or small a to Z. So the combination of any alphabets or lowercase and uppercase I'll be storing. So we need this was in a characters. So in our software we call these characters as a char or varchar, like this. So we are going to tell about the, so these are the terminology of the computers. These are the terminology of our English language. So I want to store numbers for this. I want to store the characters. I want to store the numbers. So in our software, we use this as a number, char or varchar. So char and varchar are nothing but characters. So I can store only like this. Now suppose I want to store my Gmail account. Say here I want to store my Gmail, or I have the college as in a Gmail account. I want to contact them. So I want a mail. So mail is an account. So if I say Gmail account or mail account, whatever it is, now mail account, how it will be? Let's say take an example of our college mail ID. So the college mail ID is something like principal Nizam College @gmail.com, something like this. So what is happening here? I have a name, then I have a special characters @ and I have dot as a special characters. Somebody will be having something called JK123 underscore S @gmail.com. So what is happening here? Characters are coming, digits are coming, and special characters are coming. Okay, like this I'm having different content. So if I want to store my information in this fashion, neither the digit will going to accept, neither the character will going to accept, because characters only it is saying A to Z. But here what is happening? Numbers are there, special symbols are there. Then I cannot use this. If I say digits only numbers, if I say characters only this, then how about this? So if I want like this, I'll be using the varchar. Okay, if I want this one, now we call this as an alpha numeric characters. So alpha numeric character. So what it will going to take? It will take the alphabets, it will take digits and symbols. So with all these combinations, I'll say alphanumeric character. So if I want the alphanumeric characters as a data type in my software, I'll be using varchar. Then coming like you will be having date of birth. Okay. If you are employee, you will be having date of joining. Okay, like this, we'll be having the our personal details DOB. Now when I'm saying DOB, it's a date of birth. How it will be? Again, it is in a like say my date of birth or your date of birth, so somebody's date of birth of 04, 08 or 09, 19 or 20 or 1999, something like this. So if I take like this, again you can see here, these are all numbers. Again, this is in hyphens. Now it will go into in our software, it will go into take as a combination as DD, MM, YY format. So this is the format you're going to accept. So if I want this kind of format, again you can see here alphanumeric character. So if I want to go with this, a digits will not going to accept, neither the character will going to accept. I have to go with the varchar. Okay, so like this we can have like go like this, or we have something called date data type. So we have something called date data type. Now this data type will be going to accept your date in this format. So it will going to accept only this. So we have a date as a format. Nowadays the fashion is there, like if you are, want to store the roll numbers and all things, nowadays I want to upload my Aadhaar number. So see how it is depending upon my raw data. So I will be saying Aadhaar number I want. Okay, I want to upload my Aadhaar photo. Okay, or photo proof. Okay, any proof. Okay, or they will be asking to upload your scanned image. So I want image. So what is happening here? Again it is coming. Now it's not the, it's a content characters, it's a number, it's a characters, it's a date. Then if you say this is a Aadhaar, again it's a number or alpha number, 15 digits of number will be there. Now when I'm coming to this proof, it's a kind of photos, images. They will be asking about something called your reservation, cash certificate should be uploaded, income certificate should be uploaded. Now if I want to upload this, these are all what again the object. Now object, what kind of format? It's in a format of JPG, it can be format of PNG, it can be format of GIF. Like this we have different format of, this is our pictures. So this is my photos. Okay, so if I want to store what kind of data type, neither it's digits, nor the characters, nor the varchar, nor the date. Now there is something called blob, there is something called clob, there is something called lob. Okay, okay, n clob, b clob, c. Now what it is, it will going to store any kind of pictures. Not only pictures, if I want any kind of files also, if I want to upload my PDF file, if I want to upload my document file, if I want to upload my PPT file, any file that you want to upload, that also can be done with your blob and clob. That means I should aware of this kind of data. That means what kind of data I can store. Okay, I collected the raw data like this, and how I'll be going to store in my computer, in my computer, using the software. So the software is going to do such kind of thing. So I should have the programming skill. Then if I want to know about the program skill, I should have an aware of design. So when I'm designing, I got a new idea. Okay, I have a roll number, I have a name, I have this one. If about the photograph, if about something called Aadhaar card, if I want any other thing, how I should have, then I should be know that. So, okay, relation is concept is different. Okay, I have been gone through that. Then I'm coming to the data type, storing kind of data. That is how, what kind of data you want to store. So when I want to store some kind of data, then I should know about the, like how I've been storing. I can store the characters, I can store the numbers, I can store the alphanumeric characters, I can store the date, I can store the pictures or the document. For this, these are the data types will be going to help me to store the things. Okay, so I stop here only. We'll see in the tomorrow's class. If you have any doubt, you can just raise the questions in the chat box.